Welcome to the Social Chameleon Show, which is our goal to help you learn, grow, and transform into the person you want to become. Today, part 3 in our ongoing series, What You Should Know About Technology 101 is today's topic.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I'm quite passionate about, I have a lot of fun. I love me some technology, and I like to make the most out of it. And we like to hope to share some things with you guys to make the most out of your technology and maybe even familiarize yourself with it if you're not really into it and you're not getting the most out of it that we think you could be.
Yeah, cool. I definitely agree. I'm a techie, I guess. I'm a little bit of a geek. I got a lot of geek in me. I don't know.
You do. But, it's okay, man. Hey, dude, I heard the chicks dig it nowadays. So
he's like, yeah, the younger chicks, but
whatever you're into.
I get whatever you're into. Oh, that's good. But I guess for technology, I guess for you, we were talking a lot of shortcuts yesterday. I guess.
I'm a keyboard shortcut whore. I want to know them all. I want to know them all. I want to learn them all. And listen, I mean, if you can keep your hands on that keyboard and just doing a couple little, you can navigate through. I found a couple of things nowadays where you need a mouse for some things, like they want you to physically click.
I'm a big mouse fan. I'm a big mouse fan.
The mouse is great. It's a great invention. It's a great thing, but you can get a lot done. I watch, like, especially when I was working with the Army and stuff. I mean, people sit there and go through a PDF and they type it in and they grab the mouse and they click the next box. I'm like, just hit tab. It goes to the next box. You don't ever have to touch the keyboard. It's so much easier. Like, and like people, like I watch people log in. They're like, username, type it in. They grab the mouse, they click the password. Just hit tab. It'll go down to the password box.
Then after they type in their password, they use the mouse to hit OK.
Just hit enter. Just hit enter.
Wow, well, easy over there, question.
I'm telling you,
as long as they're doing it, okay? The upholder is telling me, as long as they're doing it, okay? It's all right.
Hold on, let me jump down off my soapbox. Hold on a second here.
So sick. Oh, it's funny.
But, to me, when I was doing some administrative work, that was my superpower, just banging through, whether it was Excel spreadsheets, emails, documents. I mean, it makes things I could do. I could literally do the same amount of work in half the time, because think about every 1 second you're grabbing that mouse all day long. And, if you're just hitting keyboard shortcuts, you can really, bang through your work in an effective and efficient manner. I think it's vital, especially in today's world where most people work on computers or in types of realms. We're constantly dealing with forms, logins, and all these different types of things.
Yeah, definitely got a lot of forms. But all right. I see you on there. I definitely use a mouse for a lot of stuff. And I guess in general, I use combination shortcut with mouse. And to me, that's my effectiveness.
Yeah, I got right hand on mouse, left hand on shortcuts.
And at home, I don't know, I guess I'm showing my inner geek, but this is a Naga mouse here. So it's a gamer mouse.
I got that MX Master.
Right, but if you notice, I mean, we got the wheel here. The wheel actually clicks as a third button. Yeah, I got 2 buttons here. I
got 2 buttons. They're mappable, and this little thumb pad is mappable.
But I also have a number pad on the side of my mouse. So
you getting too fancy, dog.
He's just like,
getting too fancy.
Hey, I'm just saying, I can click numbers from my mouse.
I got 4 mappable buttons, and that's too many. Like, just give me the back button. And
I got a number pad, all of them mapped to shortcuts.
I guess if you're into, I don't play games, so that must be really good for games.
But I mean, it's good, right? You got a number in your pad, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna click on the Wi-Fi or whatever you want to search. You can just type in the number real quick.
Yeah.
But anyway, now we're getting ahead of ourselves. So anyway, getting back to the thing here, shortcuts. I think some of you may know them, some of you may not know them. The first 3 that come to mind are cut, copy, and paste.
Right.
And basically, what you're gonna do is hit Control, and then C is for copy. So just those 2 together, Control C. And then from there, if you hit Control X, X would be the cut. So C is to copy, X is to cut. And then when you're ready, again, I use the double thing. So I click on the mouse and then I just hit Control V as in victory to paste it. And then I think those 3 shortcuts alone will save people like tons of time.
And then on Mac, is it Command? Is the control?
Yes. So just depending on what it is, it's Command. And again, for those people that use Mac, actually on the Mac, I prefer to use the trackpad versus the mouse, but we'll get into that a little later, whatever case might be. But yeah, so yeah, going on that. And then the other thing I like to do at least with the cut and the copy is the Control A. So like if you're on a page and you just kind of like everything, you just hit Control A and it'll copy everything in that page. Yeah. And then you can free to just paste that section out. To me, that's amazing. I actually like that. Instead of highlighting with your mouse or holding down to highlight the entire, I don't know, whatever.
Takes forever. Control A, people, all.
Sure. Yeah. Select all.
Especially like me, if you're into plagiarism, as I am.
Oh, God.
Control A and copy paste are your best friends.
Yeah, and for me, I kind of just stick to that. Tyson, you got a list of.
I
don't know.
To add to those, my favorites are moving that cursor around at your kind of command. So if you do. You hold Control, or I guess it would be Command on a Mac, and you hit the arrow left, right. You can hop from whole words to whole words, and then if you hold that Control Shift, and then the arrow, you can start to highlight those words, and you can just kind of, if you can think about this, you want to grab 3 or 4 words, maybe a repetitive or a title or something like that. You just hit, Control Shift, arrow over a couple words, Control C, boom, arrow down, Control V. You just copy this section. You've selected this whole section, you've copied it and pasted it, and you hit it there. I like those. I think those, navigating around a document. I mean, these shortcuts are not just word specific. They're pretty much synonymous with almost all programs, whether it's Google Docs, whether it's the internet in general.
Yeah, web browser. Most web browsers it works on.
Right.
So you can highlight PDF documents, like any type of document that has it, you can select all, or if you hold that Control Shift or whatever, you can highlight word by word instead of holding Shift and then holding down the right arrow pad and then trying to let go at the right spot that. I mean, some people are good at that, but
these are universal shortcuts across all programs that there are on a computer, Mac or Windows. It doesn't matter. I'm sure it's the same for Linux. If you guys are out there, if you know what Linux is, you shouldn't be watching this episode.
Yeah, Linux is that's like 301.
I give you permission to skip this episode.
Yeah. Linux.
Or chime in the comments of some of your favorites. I mean, hey.
Yeah, definitely.
But even personally, we were talking about this. All of my day is spent in some type of web-based program.
That's true. You're doing a lot of advertising, creating ads here and there. I can see that.
I spend a lot of time, like I said, in Google Docs and different SaaS programs and different web-based programs. Almost. Right. I don't think I even have anything really installed on my.
Typing in all your hashtags and all your keywords for your Google searches, YouTube videos, Facebook videos, whatever. Right. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Control A and just copy them all, or just pick the ones you want.
But even beyond that, like understanding how to navigate. Like Google Chrome, that's my preferred browser. Just knowing how to go from tab to tab, quickly closing down tabs. We're all guilty, but we have 15, 17 tabs open. You're like, if you're on I'm sure it's the same across all browsers, but on Chrome, if you want to go to tab 5, you hit Control and you hit 5, it'll open tab 5 right up. If you hit Control W, it'll close that tab down. And if you mess up closing the tab, Control Shift T, bring that tab right back. I mean, you can bang through web pages. You can go from thing to thing.
I definitely use the Control N. That's kind of my thing for creating a new tab.
Right.
That's kind of about the extent that I do for that. And then I use the mouse to pick which one. Mm-hmm. But you can actually scroll through your tabs, right? Like you said.
Yeah, if you hold control and then tab, it'll go over forward in the tab list. If you hold control shift and tab, it'll go back in the tab list. So if you're in let's say you have 10 tabs open, you're on tab 5, and you hold control tab, it'll go to tab 6, 7, and it'll keep going down the row. And if you hold control shift, it'll go back, to 5, 4, 3, and then down. And then, like I said, if you know what tab you want to have open, like, I want to go to tab 5, just hit control 5, it'll go right to tab 5.
Oh, that's cool.
And especially me, I have 3 monitors at any given time on. Usually I constantly have 2 on. So I'll have 2 web browsers open, with 3 or 4 tabs on each, and I can go in between each screen and then copy and paste things or reference something from tab to tab or screen to screen. So really, I don't know. To me, getting good at these shortcuts, really, they'll save you, hours a week of time.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And just, again, when filling out forms in general, everybody, like Tyson was saying earlier, if you have a form that has, a blank here and a blank here, you just hit tab and that'll go to the next area. Just like he was saying, if you hold shift and you hit tab, that'll take you back one tab or one highlighted field or whatever the case might be.
Yeah. Okay. And sometimes you got to play this. I've noticed forms, let's just call it like, whatever, you're filling out an application. It's like first name, last name, address, and all that. Sometimes you hit tab and it'll go down to address. And you just hit shift tab, it'll go back. And it won't go back to your first name box. It'll go back to the last name box. Sometimes forms are weird like that. Maybe it's the way it's coded, box 1, 2, or 3. So but it's a whole lot easier than mousing around and telling you just hit that tab button, get used to hitting those things. Whatever you're using.
And I've had websites where like the columns don't really line up. So instead of going right, you'll go down in this column, and then all of a sudden you'll kind of be shot somewhere. Yeah. Usually if you hit tab, it will cycle through every single field that's on there. So it may not be the order that you want, but just tab to the one you want. Anyway, enough about tabbing.
But whatever program you folks are using, whether it's, CAD or Outlook or whatever you guys use, there's going to be keyboard shortcuts for it. Look in the help, maybe look in the manual. If you got to contact the developer or whatever, find those keyboard shortcuts, learn the ones that you're using every single day. You're constantly doing the same mouse thing. I almost guarantee it. There's a keyboard shortcut for it that'll save you a ton of time and speed up your work.
And then one more on the tab. I know I said I quit, but if you're in Windows at least, you can hold Alt tab, and that will actually switch between your programs. Yes. So like if you have Word on one and then you have, let's just say, your internet browser on the other, you know what I mean, and you're going back and forth, you can just hit Alt tab to switch to your internet browser, right? Control A to select everything on that page, and you hit Alt tab to go back to your Word document. Then you know what I mean? Like you can do this just in a quick few short things like that. You can bang on a lot of copy and paste.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of fun. You can really get down into the nitty-gritty. There's a lot of fun shortcuts and little tricks within each operating system. You can really streamline your work and streamline your flow and the way you cycle through tabs and stuff. Learn them. At first, when I first started learning this, I would print out the shortcuts and I'll just have them right there. And I'm like, what is that shortcut? What was it? Control N, Control T, or whatever. And it's like, and then you start to learn them real quick. Yeah.
And then for those of you that have Mac users with a trackpad, I kind of like the trackpad because it has gestures, and they have tutorials that you can watch on all the gestures that are available on the trackpad. But, I know like I'm talking about poi, but if you swipe down with 2 or 3 fingers, right, like, there's a difference. Like swiping with 2 fingers, swiping with 3 fingers, swiping with 4 fingers, like those will all make different things happen on your iPad. So
are those programmable or are they just standard things?
They're standard, dude. If you have the smaller iPhone, you know what I mean, like this, its gestures are not enabled. But if you have like the iPad minis, iPad mini and up will have gestures on them. So kind of like how you switch programs with Alt Tab. If you have the trackpad on your Mac and you use 3 fingers and you swipe left and right, that will switch your program.
Oh,
yeah. And then they have, like swiping down. So if you swipe down with all 4 fingers, down or up, and you can set these gestures to whatever shortcut you want as well. nowadays. But the stock ones that come, you swipe down with 4, it'll show you all the programs that are there. You just point the one you want and open it.
Is that on the Mac too, or just on the iPad?
Yeah, that's on the Mac. It's on the iPad. Like all of that stuff is kind of.
Oh, I'm like jealous.
Hey, bro. I'm not knocking it. The hardware on Macintosh stuff definitely lasts a long time, and they definitely put a lot of thought into it.
Yes.
I definitely do like the versatility of Android though, because they run across all types of platforms, which make it they run on Apple platforms too, which make it ironic. We were just talking about that this morning.
Yeah, we were.
But yeah, so again, if you're a Macintosh user and you know what I mean, get the trackpad, know those gestures, because like those shortcuts even add more. And when I'm on my Mac side, generally I don't use this high-tech fancy mouse thing. Like I just use a trackpad because it's legit. Like
I would get a trackpad if I had those funny little things too. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I don't know if it's worth the price upgrade, but
hell's no. My custom built computer is cheaper than the cheapest MacBook.
Yeah, but nonetheless, I digress.
Soapbox off.
Soapbox off. And some of the other ones, I think, Tyson, you're talking about bold and underline. I don't really prefer those, but
I'm a bold underline kind of guy. I like to italicize. I like to bullet point things. I know all those shortcuts. We don't got to go into them, but no, there is something for. I mean, think about, I like to say a lot. When I used to work for the Army and stuff, I could literally, I would fuck around all morning long until lunch because I knew I was so quick, banging through Outlook, banging through Excel files, banging through Word docs, writing up these PowerPoints and all these things. I could do all my work in 3 to 4 hours and I would look like a rock star because the other guys, they couldn't navigate the computer as well as I could because I spent the time learning the programs, learning the shortcut, learning the functions. So I could do my 8 hours of work in 3 to 4 hours. And not only could I get it done, I got it done at a very, very high level. So it looked like I was spending all this day like, wow, how do you get so much done? I'm like, dude, I fucked off all day long. I had a 2-hour lunch and I still outworked you.
Okay, Mr. 4-hour work week.
But hey, we can talk about that another time. But I'm just saying, the point of my story isn't to brag. It's to impart on you guys, like, these things can speed up your day.
This is true.
And it's not to the fact of being lazy and effing around. Back then, I didn't know what else to do with my time, but wander the internet, But you can if you can get these low-level tasks and these mundane day-to-day things done, you can spend more time, thinking, researching, whatever it is you want to be doing. Maybe you bang out your work in 6 hours. You spend 2 hours at work reading or working on your side hustle or something like that. But you're being or Sally's having a bad day. You're like, listen, Sally, let me get some stuff off your plate. I know your husband's sick. Let me knock this out because I can do your work and my work without even blinking. And you can be a better human being. Like, there's a lot of things you can do, and that doesn't have to be fucking off. I'm just trying to impress upon you things you can do when you have these skills.
For sure, definitely.
And then with that, another thing I really enjoy is Gmail. Most people use Gmail, or if you use Outlook, whatever you use, I guarantee there's shortcuts in there. Make sure they're turned on.
Yeah, ironically, nowadays, especially with the Google Business and Google Apps for businesses, like a lot of businesses actually run Gmail. Like it's
a lot of government agencies and stuff. I've been using Google for Business since they've been around.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I've been grandfathered into a lot of things people pay big money for.
That's all good, man. You started early, do the beta thing.
I've been on all kind of betas. I guess
some of them last, some of them don't last.
Some of them don't. They're all fun though. But nevertheless, I mean, everybody talks about, their inboxes are full and this and that. You can't. If you learn some shortcuts, I tell you right now, I can bang through my email inbox in like 15 seconds.
All right. Well, why don't you go over some of what those shortcuts are in Gmail?
My favorite within Gmail, like I said, make sure you go into the settings and you turn on shortcuts.
Yeah, I think we tried that the other time. I was like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, you're lying, dude. The shortcut does not work. Like, you actually have to
you got to turn them on.
Go into settings and turn them on.
Yeah. So my favorite is you use the the down or up arrow and the X key. So the X key will check the box. Now I know there's an option at the top to check all. So you can either check all and then skim through, and hit X will uncheck each one. So the ones you need to read or you wanted to look at or whatever it is, or you need to save, you just uncheck those real quick. Or in converse, you just go through and check the ones you just want to delete or whatever you want to archive or whatever real quick. What I personally do, I just go through and bang through all the stuff that I don't want to read, or I get it from the subject line or whatever it is, or I don't care to talk to you. I just X through them all, and then all the ones that are checked, you hit Shift, and then the hashtag button, or for the old school people, the pound sign, and then just delete them all. And then you're done. Guess what? Your inbox is empty as shit. I'm telling you right now. And then once you kind of emptied out the inbox, or before you empty out the inbox, you can just click into the first email. And then if you hit, I think it's J goes down the list and K goes up the list of emails. I always forget which way it goes, but
it's J. Yeah, J is down, K is up. Yeah.
Yeah. So you start for the first one, you hit J, and you just go down each email, and you can read it, whatever, reply.
Yeah. And after you're done, you just hit J, and it'll go to the next one. Right.
And or if you're done reading, you just hit Shift pound, and it'll delete that email, and it'll bring you back either however you have it set, either back to your inbox or to the next message, depending on how you have it set up. But you can really just quickly knock through emails real fast by knowing these shortcuts. It's a whole lot less time than mousing all around and just different things like this, archiving stuff. You learn all those shortcuts, you can just easily bang those real quick.
Yeah, it was actually some good stuff. I think you taught me how to do that, and I do actually kind of use this. It's nice, man. But yeah, I like that, going up, going down.
Yeah, but even on, I don't know how it works on iOS because I don't have any iOS devices, but on Android, you can just swipe to archive, swipe to delete. It's really simple. You tap.
I only run Google stuff on Apple. It's kind of, I know it's ironic, but again, I'm not an Apple hater. I just, now FaceTime has multiple FaceTime, Google had some of that stuff a long time. But anyway, I digress.
Wait. I want to get on my soapbox. Hold on. I'm kidding.
But so I do, those features are still on this. When you open up your email, you archive, all of those are on there. You can activate shortcuts just like you can on an Android phone.
Okay, good. But same thing. I mean, it's easy to just swipe and delete, or tap, and you highlight a bunch and just delete, archive, whatever you do with your stuff.
Yeah, and nowadays they have the 3D touch, so you can hold the email down and do the 3D touch and do a lot of different things with it as well.
Yeah, so, Android has something similar like that. I don't know what they call it, but you hold down the icon and a little box pops up with options of things.
Yeah. And that's just kind of, those are cool little features. If you're typing stuff, and like I was just explaining this to Tyson earlier, on Android phones you can actually select in between a word, you know what I mean? Like if you spell field wrong because you don't know if I comes before E or whatever the thing is.
It's not always right. It doesn't always work.
But whatever the case might be, you spell somebody's name wrong. On the Android phone, you can just tap right in between the word and your cursor will go there. But iPhones, for some strange, bizarre reason, they haven't learned that technology. I don't know what the case is. You either have to go before the word or after the word and kind of hold on it, and then you can move the cursor to the middle of the word. I just actually learned if you're typing and you make that mistake and you got the 3D touch option, you just 3D touch and hold on the space bar, and then that will kind of blur out your keyboard, and you can just use that area on your keyboard to move the cursor around on the top. So it's definitely a faster shortcut than taking your hand off the keyboard, going up to the word, and then holding it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Interesting. Sounds like a lot of work, but probably not any much more than the other.
No, I mean, once you learn it, it's just something that's nature. Like I was telling you, and if the time that it takes you to hold the space bar, you can already move the cursor. It's just as fast as taking your hand off the keyboard and trying to correctly pinpoint. You know what I mean? Get your bullet targeted on between the I and the E.
That is hard too. I'm like, I need a comma here. No, not there. Here.
Yeah.
Here.
But yeah, if you're on the iPhone, you just 3D touch and hold the space bar for the 3D touch. You move the cursor around at the top. It's magic. Also, for the iPhone users out there, if you don't know how to undo something, it's crazy. You just shake your phone. Literally, I'm not joking. Like you need to
take it off.
You typed your whole email out, right? You typed your whole email out, and you've highlighted the whole thing because you wanted to copy it, and you delete it. shake your phone, and it'll say, "Do you want to undo?" Hit yes, and then your email will come back.
Or if by the time you're done typing the email, you're not as mad as you were when you started.
Yeah.
Take it. I'm gonna start over. I'm a lot calmer now.
But yeah, so just some keyboard shortcuts for email on the iOS.
That reminds me of something in Gmail. There's an option to undo send.
Oh.
I would recommend everybody turn that on. There's like, I think 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. I have mine set for 30 seconds. So when you're really pissed off or you forget to say something, you can just hit undo send, and then you can retype that email. That's a feature I recommend everybody put on. I wish I had undo send like for like 5 minutes.
Like,
by then you're probably pretty calm.
One day undo send. You just joking.
Another thing I used to like when I used Outlook with the military is like there's a
recall.
Everything goes into the outbox, and then the outbox parses everything at a certain interval or whatever. Like you can set that to manual or different times, and you can go back in the outbox and like, let me rewrite this message to the colonel. I was a little mad at him earlier. I'm not as mad now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Other things I liked about Outlook are you could actually recall the message completely. Or just kind of like score it out. So if they haven't checked their email yet, it won't show up. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, and then if they did, it'll kind of cross it out. So, but
that's always fun. You look at your email and be like, I swear to God, Billy emailed me earlier. I saw that shit in my inbox. I don't know where it went.
Yeah. But I mean, Outlook had like a whole bunch of cool things that, this is just the 101 thing. And I love the Outlook because of the things that you could do with it, kind of like the things you could do with Excel, but it was a rather costly program. And
it's just not worth it
to use it with other things. It was, nowadays it's better because you just pay the monthly subscriction and you
get what is it? Word, Excel, PowerPoint, the whole thing.
Yeah, and you can use the Outlook or whatever. But it also, I don't know. For me, Gmail kind of does the same thing. But even like the Apple Mail and all that, they have very similar features. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Speaking of Office, same rules apply within there to Word, Excel. Lots of cool shortcuts, bulleting things. Different thing. My favorite feature in Excel is learning how to freeze that pane. So as you're scrolling through something that whether that information bar, whatever you're scrolling through, like learning those different things.
Yeah, and I think we were going over this the other day. Google's Sheets actually, they have a lot more stuff.
Pretty good now
from Excel. I know when Google Sheets first came out, they couldn't touch Excel by a long shot. There's a lot of Excel is one of my favorite programs to geek out on because there's so many formulas that you can put in there, so many shortcuts that you can do in there. I personally like to organize the data. So if you put all your data in correctly and you sort it properly, like you can sort it and just be like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
It helps you see trends a lot easier by doing that.
Yeah, Sheets has come a long, long way. I guess from my understanding was some of those things were proprietary. And either that has expired or Google's found workarounds or partnerships or whatever it is. I don't know. But there's a lot of fun functionality in there. And it's a great alternative. If you have a Gmail or whatever, maybe a Google account or whatever, whatever it's called, you have access to Docs, Sheets. I think it was Slides or something like that or whatever.
Yeah, Slides is PowerPoint. PowerPoint still has a lot of better features, I think.
It's still pretty good. You can do better every day. Things. Yeah.
It's getting better every day.
Yeah. But there are great free alternatives that are pretty on point. I think Office is like $10, $20 a month, something like that, whatever it is. It can be a little pricey if, it's something out of your budget.
Yeah, something starting off. Yeah. And I think you can pick separate programs. It could be just want Word or something like that. I think they have like a cheaper version if you want just.
There is
anyway,
a free version if you have a Windows computer, you get some like.
You get like a 30-day free trial.
Well, there's a web-only version I think you get for free.
Then on the Mac, if you're a student, I think they give you a subscription for free if you're a student as well.
Even on the Windows side too, I want to say it's like, I was at $20 a semester or something like that. Don't quote me on that price, but I turned my sister onto that when she was in school. My wife was in school. We did the same thing with her. we got that. But it's only good for, I think it's a semester at a time or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely there's this kind of things.
Yeah.
But all the shortcuts you mentioned about like the cut, paste, select all, tabbing over,
All work.
they all work on Word and or PowerPoint and or Excel.
Mm-hmm.
If those of you are familiar with Excel or Sheets, when you do the copy and paste feature, all you really have to do is select the top left area that you want to paste in, and it'll just kind of paste it in on there. Yeah. Cool.
Right.
I don't know. Excel to me has a lot of formulas. If you guys have time, formulas will save a lot of time in your day. Yes. You have stuff like auto sum, so you can sum up entire columns, and or pinpoint whatever dots you want to take data from and just sum it all up. You can average them. You can get the mean, the median. Like, there are so many. This is just a one-on-one class, so we'll just go over just a few. But definitely freezing the pane so you can kind of see at least the categories on the top and the side. Yeah. And then from there you can auto sort your data. So if you highlight everything and then you just hit sort data, you can sort by columns, you can sort by rows, whatever the case might be. Those are all very much time-saving things that you can do.
Yeah. And if it's something you work in a lot, I mean, hey, take an Excel class, a Word class, whatever. You'll learn so much for such a little bit amount of money. It'll save you hours and hours of work.
Yeah. I think when I worked at the bank, they sent me for free. And I was like, dude, I learned so much out of those classes. Like, that was crazy. Yeah. Like on Excel, like if you're typing in like a pattern of numbers, like let's just say, you're trying to type in time frames, and 6 o'clock you have something, 12 o'clock you have something, and then like at 5 p.m. you have something. If you just highlight those three numbers itself, there'll be like a little black square on the bottom of the bottom cell. Yeah. If you just grab that with your mouse and you scroll down, it'll repeat that same pattern over and over and over again. Like this, little things like that, man. Those definitely help me.
Like numbers too. If you just put number 1 and you grab that little box and you go down, it'll start numbering that thing.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Yep. Until as far as you want to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even if you slide it down and you just go to 20, next time you want to go, you grab it again and you slide down to 30, and it'll just keep going. You just keep sliding out every time you want to add more to it. It'll keep going.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so these are just some quick things that we're mentioning. We're not going to go too far into detail. You can definitely get out of hand, and you can go into all kinds of functions. And when you start hyperlinking your Word document to your Excel stuff to make, whatever you need to make.
PowerPoint presentation. Ooh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You can get fun.
For sure. But yeah, are we good with Office? We want to.
I think we can move past this. We can talk for some time on this. We can start screen sharing stuff and go through some fun things.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Take the time. An hour-long class will go a long way in your learning. Even if you just YouTube videos. YouTube's got all kind of great stuff.
Yeah, and nowadays you use computers like for everything. Like I got into the healthcare field thinking, I'm not going to be behind a desk, bro. I'm charting like half the day. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I think my wife, she's a nurse too, and she's like, I spend most of my day on the computer. I don't even see patients.
Yeah, it's like you look at the patient, you do your assessment, and then like you got to sit there and like put it into the computer. It's like, oh man.
And that's the thing my wife talks about too. She's like, because she knows how to work Word and Excel and all these different programs really well, that's how she's able to knock through her charting really, really fast.
Yeah. A lot of charting software works very similarly. Yeah. I don't know, Cerner, we have the older version of Cerner on ours, so it doesn't have all the things, but Epic pretty much runs like Excel. Like, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's cool, man. Sweet.
Yeah, but even same thing goes for navigating around your computer. Listen, I'll tell you the number one greatest hack you'll ever have go into your settings, whatever goddamn computer thing you have, go to mouse speed and turn it to the max. You're going to think I'm a fucking idiot for the first 10 minutes. And then you're going to write and thank me like, dang, like I never thought I could get used to my mouse darting across the screen like it was scared.
Yeah, I don't know about going to max, but
go to max. Don't listen to him. Go to max.
80 to 70%. That's kind of my comfort zone. Tyson's like,
Yeah.
max it out.
You'll get used to it in 20 minutes. But think, like I said earlier, you know, this half a second, 4,064 times a day. You can have a 2-hour lunch all of a sudden.
2-hour lunch by mouse speed. Shut up.
I'm just saying. I mean, hey. And listen, you're going to be able to deadlift 10,000 pounds. You're going to be able to bench press 4,000. Guaranteed. These are all guaranteed, scientifically proven stats. I'm telling you right now. It's going to improve your life. It's really going to improve your life.
But yes, mouse speed, definitely. You spend a lot of time moving your mouse around the screen. You know, if it's on snail mouse, then like that's half your day just waiting for your mouse to move. So I agree.
Sparkly trail dust behind it.
And same thing for again on the Mac. If you have the trackpad, you can adjust the trackpad speed. For those of you that may or may not know, in the old days you had to actually hold control and then click on something to right click on it. But nowadays, if you have the trackpad, you can actually assign. If you click on the left side of the pad, it'll be a left click, and if you click on the right side of the pad, it'll be a right click.
Oh, welcome to 2018, Apple.
This is back in the day they did that. But anyway, I'm just saying. Also, again, gestures for Apple, they have like smart corners and things like that. So if you want certain shortcuts, you just go from the middle of the trackpad and swipe up to the left corner, and that'll be like another shortcut. If you swipe down to the right, you know, stuff like that. On Windows, I know like a lot of people use the window key and L to lock their screen before they go to the next thing, or, you know, if you work in an office environment.
Go to the bathroom.
Yeah, whatever. On an Apple computer, you can set that to one of those. That's what I have. I just swipe up from the middle to the top left, and then I lock my screen and I walk away. Yeah. So they got some cool stuff on there. But again, you know, just familiarize yourself. You know what I mean? Change the speed, you know, your shortcuts. Things you do commonly on a basis. If you have a Mac, you can assign shortcuts to the trackpad. Make your life a lot easier, for sure.
And same thing too, like on Windows, I mean, my mouse, I've got what I said as 5 mappable buttons. Those are all assigned to things that I do. Back, you know, forward, copy, whatever.
Copy, paste, select all.
You can do. Those buttons. Even some keyboards and stuff, you can assign different special key combinations to do different things. There's like all kind of fun stuff you can do.
Yeah, Mac, they have something called sticky keys and stuff like that you can do. Another thing I like to do on Mac, which is what I'm doing right now, is boot camp. So
they may talk to me.
Yeah, but basically, I know it defeats the purpose, but with boot camp, you can partition. For those of you guys that know what that is, you split your drive into 2 pieces. And basically, you can run Macintosh on one side of your computer, and then you can run Windows on the other side. The downside is it is costly to do, as you do have to buy a separate copies of Windows, whatever you're going to buy, and install it in on your Mac. But all Macs are Windows compatible, ironically. Or if you fancy,
you can install iOS on my computer.
Not yet. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. Not that I have heard of people building PCs and installing Apple software, whatever it's called, iOS, Lion, Bird, whatever.
Maybe.
I've heard of it being, I want to say relatively new. I've at least heard of people custom building Apple-based computers. I heard it's a lot of finagling to get it to work.
Yeah, there are certain things that don't necessarily work. But I'm just saying, for the, you know, this is the 101 class. Just know that you can partition it. For me, when I started my real estate game, it was not Mac friendly at all. Like a lot of the stuff, either in my office and or with the board, you just needed Windows to operate it. Kind of sucked. So I partitioned my drive, and everybody's like, "Are you using Windows?" I was like, "Yeah, I am. It's kind of cool."
How do I do this?
And then and you can use Mac side too, but it's all good. Whatever the thing is.
That's cool.
Other things about your computer, just in general practice. I know, again, this is the 101 class. Just kind of know about your protection. Definitely use protection. But you know, you have all this stuff like ransomware, and no pun intended, but
Ransom, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a yellow shirt, actually.
I heard on a podcast today, there are ransomware created every 3 seconds.
Wow. I'm a clone.
No, I'm sorry, not ransomware, malware. Excuse me,
Yeah. Malware, ransomware, whatever you want to call it.
You can buy malware and hacking services, subscription services on the dark web.
Yes, you can.
Protect yourself, people. Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool guy. I'm telling you.
Yes.
You don't want encrypted, crapped out hard drives. Those are no fun. I've never had that because I don't play. But
so, you know, just basically, you know, there are a lot of ones out there. I'm not going to mention any per se. Just kind of go and know which ones are out there and which ones.
I'm not mentioning any of these guys.
Oh, well, go ahead and mention whatever you want to mention.
No, well, but personally, I like is it Malwarebytes? They have ransomware protection, malware protection, all baked into one program. I have it on my cell phone. I have it on my computers. I have it on all that stuff.
Whatever. I mean, but you got your cup of tea, whatever it's gonna be.
Whatever works for you.
You got freaking McAfee. You got whatever blanket thing. I myself use ESET. Just E as in Echo, S as in Sam, E as in Echo, T as in Thomas. That's my thing. It has a little sideboard picture on it. I use that for both my Windows and my Macintosh computer. So it's whatever.
Yeah. Also, I've heard this rumor several times from several people. When they say Macs can't get viruses, don't fucking fool yourself, people. It's not true. Don't leave yourself susceptible. The only reason Macs don't really get viruses is because people don't create viruses for something that most people don't have.
Because they don't have the market share. Again, like I said, most things are not Macintosh compatible. Most office workspaces that you go to, they run PCs. Almost always.
And as that culture starts to change and these things start to shift, and I think it's like 15 to 20% of people own Macs now. They're gonna, and especially these hackers now. And there's, like I said, there's, you know, hacker, you know, services that you can subscribe to. They're gonna start targeting you guys because they're gonna, you know, especially they know you guys are vulnerable.
The next thing, I don't think it's necessary just yet, but in the future.
I disagree. I think it's necessary now.
These will replace computers.
Yeah.
In the future. Right now, they don't have the functionality to do it, but you know, just be out there, especially with that, like your passwords and stuff like that. Like, be careful. Make sure the apps that you use are encrypted and decent, and just kind of be careful about when you auto save your passwords to your browsers and things like that.
Don't do that. Use a password manager, people.
Yeah.
Something encrypted like LastPass. I use RoboForm. Ransom uses some archaic system of.
Why you gotta tease my archaic system, Kay?
Hey. I don't care what the fuck you do, as long as it's secure and it works.
It's on a thumb drive, okay? It's just my password is here.
I got them hidden all across the country.
I bury them in the backyard. You'll never know. You got to take 40 paces east. It's like, whatever the case is. But I don't know. I just put it on a thumb drive for me, and then when my Wi-Fi and my Bluetooth and all of my communication devices are shut down, I'll hook it up, and then I'll open it up, and I'll set my passwords that way.
Put the Faraday cage over you, and then type in your password.
Yeah, whatever the case might be, man. But yeah, I mean, the app would do the same, but flash drive is 99 cents, dude.
Yeah. And not only use the password manager to manage your passwords, I like to use it to generate long string, random, multi-numbered, faceted passwords. And I just randomly generate all kind of crazy passwords. So no two logins are the same in my case. I don't even know what the hell my logins are because I use a password thing. It's on my cell phone, and I need to have passwords and fingerprints to get into it. And I just fill stuff and whatever.
And then another, you know, for those of you people that have to change your password all the time or whatever the case might be, for me, I kind of use a combination of people are going to figure out my passwords now.
Don't give away your secrets. But use a password manager, folks, to generate passwords. It's really a lot.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if you have trouble creating passwords, like, a good thing that I do is just use a combination of either words, like simple 3 to 4 letter words, and then put numbers and or symbols like in between them. Like that's like it's common, but at the same time, like it's creates your password longer than, you know, the standard 6 characters that's required. You can at least put 2 or 3 words in there and you can kind of remember what those words are. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's easier. Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever.
Yeah, that was a thing about when I worked when I was in the army and stuff. We had to change our password like every 90 days. Yep. After a while, you're like, I don't know what else to invent. You can't like repeat the last 3, and it's got to have so many uppercase and characters and numbers, and you have a situation like that, it can get kind of daunting to like make up different word combination, number combinations.
Yeah, but I mean, just like you can just pick something at random that you can remember, like Juicy 4 burger taco 8, like, you know what I mean? Like
your bank account or your credit card.
That's for my Tinder account if you need to get into that. But anyway,
I'll just match with you the real way.
It's stupid, but you know what I mean? Like combinations of numbers and words is a lot stronger than
numbers, uppercase, lowercase, symbols. Like
again, if you use 3 or 4 words, just remember the word that has a capital letter in it. You know what I mean? Put the symbols, and you know, I don't know. It's just a tip. Do as you please. Have your browser save your password and don't lock your phone. It'd be great.
Yeah. Another good thing. I don't know if this gets a little above the 101 level, but if you're worried about some stuff like that, and maybe you're on a public Wi-Fi or something like that or whatever, I recommend looking into a VPN. So it's a virtual private network. They encrypt traffic and stuff. That's something you might want to look into as well to help you maintain some safety. I use NordVPN, and they have a like malware thing built in. So if you're on the go, whatever, you don't have malware on your phone, you can just click that box on, and then wherever site you're visiting, malware and stuff won't get through because it's going through their encryption, and they're going to catch the malware on their side.
Yeah, that's true. And then also just be aware of like the free Wi-Fi stuff that you kind of click into.
Don't do it.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a student. I was a broke student once. So like make sure when you go to the KCC library, you log in exactly to the KCC library stuff, and then it requires your student password. You know what I mean? Things like that. But you know, be careful when people try to trick you because they'll create like a fake.
Yeah, they'll spoof.
Yeah, they'll spoof a Wi-Fi address and be like free Wi-Fi number 21 or whatever the case might be. And when you log into that and actually hit accept on whatever they're doing, you're actually allowing them to do things in your phone. So just kind of be careful about using those things. Use the common ones, you know, Starbucks, AT&T, whatever. Spectrum has them, but just kind of be aware of what they are, know what they are. Don't just randomly go, hey, here's free Wi-Fi, I'm going to use it. Like,
yay!
That might cost you a little bit more than what you bargained for. But
and same thing goes with Wi-Fi in your home. Well, I'm not going to get too technical in this, but I guess 2 things I would recommend everybody does is not only setting a username and password for what you log into from your computer or phone, but also changing, if you can, the username, and definitely changing the password to log into your router.
Yeah.
Because all routers, you can just easily look up the manual online, and they'll tell you the username and password that's set by default, and people can get onto your stuff and they can log right in, and then they can do a lot of havoc.
They can change all your router settings. Yeah.
So figure out, look at the manual real quick. Just at least change that username and password to something. Use your password manager, generate a new crazy, stupid password that you don't need to remember because it's going to be saved. And once you have that all set up, you don't really need to log back into there ever again. I know this maybe get a little bit more advanced for people, but it can really, you know, people can sit out in front of your house and do really, really heinous things on your internet, and you're going to be really confused when the FBI knocks on your door wanting to know what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't take it that far, but definitely.
I'm just saying that's not what's going to happen on an everyday thing.
On a general basis, but you definitely want to have control of your router, and you definitely don't want people stealing your Wi-Fi for free with you not knowing it. So just, you know, It's a simple task. Most of them, you can just go on the website or whatever the case might be and log into your router and just change the password. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Just save yourself a lot of heartache and get that changed.
Yeah.
And then what else we got here? Anything else?
I guess we don't want to go too far into the whole Wi-Fi router thing going on here, but basically what is your general, you're knowing your way around, I guess, the internet per se, or things to set up in your home. I remember one episode you're talking about, my light bulbs are updating. Hold on. Like, dude, you're lying. How are your light bulbs updating?
My light bulbs are on Wi-Fi, dog. They get firmware updates.
But for example, like, I'm not sure. I don't know who's watching this. I'm sure most people do, but I'm sure there's some people who don't know the difference between a modem and a router.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I know my sister. I had a whole long conversation with my sister about this. So I guess the simplest way. So the router is the thing that gives you Wi-Fi. So, and then the modem is generally the thing, either like a phone line or that like coaxial cable, like your television. So that's what the modem connects that to, and that transcribes or whatever. I don't know what the word is. So the internet comes through that coaxial cable or the telephone line. It goes into that little modem, and that processes the stuff, and it either can send it through a cable to something hardwired in through what they call Ethernet cable or Cat5, Cat6, whatever, different kind of cable. Yeah. Or you can send it over to
fiber optic
router, right? Fiber optic. Yeah, there's different things. That's what I have in my home.
Yeah.
And you can send that to a router, which routes Wi-Fi across your house to all your different devices. Mm-hmm. So you generally will have two of those things. I'm not a big fan of those all-in-one systems, even though they are getting a little bit better. If maybe like somebody like Ransom, he's single and he doesn't have a lot of people and devices in his house, those are okay. My house, at any given time, I've got about 15 things connected to my router asking for signal, so I need something with a high capacity. If you're looking for a new router, I recommend at least a dual band, which means you have two signals. It's 2.4 gigahertz and a 5 gigahertz. I have a tri-band. I think they even have quad band now. So you have like 3, 5
quad band for home. Jeez.
I have a tri-band in my house.
And also note, Tyson's a techie kind of guy. Just these things are kind of pricey, especially if you're getting the top of the line router. However, again, if you are like my mom, where you have 6 devices just for yourself, and then everybody else has about 2 or 3 in the house, like, you're gonna want those higher modems and higher router capabilities for sure.
So my router, it was about $300 something. So they can get very, very pricey. I seen the new version was up around $400 now. They get pretty crazy. Understand your needs of your home and also your budget, and get the highest you can get for your budget. Maybe that's a different class, but understand the difference. Like I said, recap, modem brings that signal in and transcodes it. So your computers and different things can process it and parse that information. The router broadcasts that as what we all know as Wi-Fi. So understand the two. Those are huge bottlenecks in your home as well. If they're old and they're crappy, they can really, really slow things down and really limit your capabilities.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good.
We want to get into any other privacy things or any other?
Just kind of, I don't want to get too far into it, but again, using this thing not only with your passwords and auto logins and stuff like that, but let's just say social media apps or whatever the case might be. Like for example, say maybe Facebook, because a lot of people use it. Mm-hmm. Snapchat's actually not too bad because that stuff is kind of simple.
Yeah.
But even Instagram nowadays, because of its connection to Facebook, it's getting a little bit more technical. But if you do use Facebook on your mobile apps, like there's a lot of privacy settings that are within Facebook that people may not be aware of, per se.
Yeah.
And again, this is just a one-on-one class, but just kind of know that, take some time. Actually go on the computer, because you can see a lot more of the privacy settings on your computer. But, you can limit like what people see, for example, something simple like only friends of friends can find you.
Yeah.
That's a little bit better than anyone being able to find you. You can also turn off the messaging for Facebook. So
that's the best.
If people aren't your friend or aren't a friend of friend or whatever, like they can't message you either, so you just don't get random inbox spam, stuff like that. Also something simple is like creating groups. So you can create a group for your close family members so that when you post things, like it just goes just to that group. Not all 1 million of your friends can view that post. You know what I mean? Like you can actually create it. I mean,
you have a million friends?
Not really, dude.
I don't have a million friends.
Not on my account. I mean, on my 7 ghost accounts, I have like, I think I have like up to 7 mil. But just like nobody knows about those though. But anyway, I do now. But just something simple like that. Just be aware. And also, on social media, just there are a lot of privacy questions that things like your bank or, your financial institutions would ask you for. Stuff like your mother's maiden name.
Where'd you go to high school?
Where'd you go to high school? What street did you grow up on? What's your birth date? What's your mother's birthday? These are things that are all accessible to all of your friends on Facebook.
Yep.
So just kind of be aware. I know nowadays we're a lot less concerned about privacy because we care about convenience. Mm-hmm. And also, when Facebook shares its information, so you can use Facebook to load in to a lot of other apps. You can use Facebook to load into Clash of Clans as an example. It's like, what? I can log into Clash of Clans just from Facebook? Yes, you can. Or Spotify or whatever other apps. So just be aware that there are privacy settings that you can go in there and change. Mm-hmm. And it's just, again, to just add an extra layer of protection. If you're in the first quarter of life, you may not really care about those kind of things, but as you get later on in life, just having your identity stolen is not the best thing at all.
No.
So just be cautious about that.
Spend 30 minutes on a Saturday looking through those and seeing what you are willing to share and not share. Also, understand, like, when you're taking photos and you have that geolocation on there, that information is encoded in that photo that you share it to Facebook. And if you know what you're doing, you can look at that metadata and see exact GPS coordinates of where that was taken. Something, if you're interested in not being shared, understand what's happening there.
And that also goes to these devices as well. I get mad because I play Pokemon Go a lot on my Android, but I know on the Android phone, I haven't really found it on this new iOS yet, but there's a lot of location things to, like, either hide and or mask your location. I'm not trying to say people are trying to be ninjas around here, but just kind of be aware that iPhones and or Android devices track your location history.
Yeah.
So take some time, go through the location settings, and you know what I mean? Even if you turn off your location, it will record where your location is.
Yeah. But not even that. Apps can turn it back on as they need it and then turn it back off.
Right. But I'm just saying, though, like, it will record your history. For example, Pokemon Go does that.
Yeah.
And it's like when you turn your location services back on, all the places that you just visited will pop up as you visited them.
Yeah.
So just kind of be aware of that. I have it off on my Android phone, so whenever I go into buildings on Pokemon Go, there aren't any Pokemon in there because it doesn't know where I am. Mm-hmm. But again, that's just, for me, I kind of like that preference. Just kind of know that, those are hidden accessible things within your Android and or iOS devices.
Definitely.
All right. I think we've made it safely through this video without going there. If you want to add on some additional stuff, I guess we can, but
I think we got a good 101 level, I believe.
Okay, that's cool. I was just worried I was worried we were gonna go way over. Just like,
yeah, I really tried to stay off my soapbox as much as possible.
Yeah, awesome.
If you guys got questions, something we didn't do a good job going over, or you want to learn more about, let us know. We can do a 102 or a 202 or something along those lines. But I think we've pretty much knocked a lot of basic things I get questions about from friends and family, things that really I like to use to speed my day along and my tasks along.
Yeah, for sure.
Help you guys from that.
And I guess maybe one more thing I'd like to mention, even though it's kind of obvious, but I've run into some people who actually don't know how to type with their hands. If you're one of those people who like to type with 2 fingers, again, just the same thing as taking Excel or Word class. Like, you can go get apps on your iPhone or iPad or whatever thing you're running to just kind of like play games at work to get typing, you know. Learn some of these shortcuts and take that typing class, because if you can type, it definitely will make your life a heck of a lot easier.
Yep. Just like reading, the faster you can read, the faster you can type.
Yeah, I definitely, you know, it's nice to be able to read something and type as you're reading and not have to look at the keyboard and or the computer screen and just kind of know that you're typing. Like, those are kind of good skills to know. So
I'm getting closer now, and sometimes I'm getting better. You know, it's a good little like real world kind of throw you in the deep end. Get in some type of live chat where you're trying to keep up with this really fast paced conversation. You'll learn to type real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I learned to type faster. It's like, I can't talk.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go take the proper typing class, or like I said, just buy an app. I think it's maybe like $4 for something.
I'll try and find the thing I use I think it was free. It's a web page where you can type. I'll try and remember if I can find that. It was really good.
Yeah, they got a lot of them.
Yeah.
But, you know, typing speed is definitely a good thing. Hopefully in the future, everything will be voice. That's kind of where things are headed nowadays, especially with Alexa. And Google.
I love that on my computers and phones.
You know, but basically you just say what you want, but you still got to go in there and edit things. So just kind of be aware.
Even not getting really.
I mean, it's getting better, but at the same time, grammar, punctuation, those kinds of things, you have to go in there and fine tune.
Yeah. Sometimes I look back at my voice notes and I'm like, what was I saying?
Yeah.
Peanut butter, Jolly Rancher, Santa Claus hat. What the fuck? What was that?
So anyway, do we have a new giveaway? I forgot to ask you about that.
You know what? We don't. That's it. We're done. We're done giveaways for the year. God dang it. It's the holidays. We're giving back.
All right. Cool.
It's live. It's up. We're ready to go. As the time of this recording, I've got over $200 raised. It's god dang an unbelievable blessing. Thank you folks for all the generosity. What it is, if you don't know, head over to Facebook, search for Holiday Helper. What I'm doing is I'm going to be collecting money and toys and whatever different types of things. Three facets to this thing we're doing. First is I'm giving meals, whether it's actual meals, like the store here, Sprouts, they have a bag of kind of pre-packaged meals, a bunch of stuff in there. There's that. I'm also looking into getting bulk food items, like trying to work with some food banks stuff here in the Gilbert area I live in, and donating a big pallet of food. And that's that facet. And then the second facet is the Sunshine Acres Children's Home up the street here in Arizona. It's a children's home. They take no federal, state funding. It's all 100% donation based. They house about 100 kids or so at a time there. Most of those kids there, their parents are either incarcerated or homeless or addicted to drugs or something. They can't take care of the kids, and they've been fortunate enough to go there. What they do every year is each kid comes up with a wish list. And boy, if you guys could just read these wish lists, they're the most unbelievably heartwarming, modest things. I mean, these kids just want pajamas, or they just want a DVD, or they just want to, like last year's kid just wanted some Doritos. I'm like, man, does it touch your heart when, a lot of us take this for granted. We just walk down to 7-Eleven or Circle K and just fucking mow down ho-hos and ding-dongs. And these kids, of all the things they could wish for Christmas, that's what they want.
Yeah, it's like, I want Doritos, man. Like,
yeah, you know.
Can't afford that.
Listen, bud, yes, like, so I've got the word out to them as I do every year. I'm picking up 10 kids as I normally do. And what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to put together an Amazon list of all their wish listings. If you guys would like, you guys can go through and click through that, send it to me. And then I'll collect all it up. And on December 21st, it's the Friday before Christmas, I'm going to bring it all up there. Whether it's just my stuff or if you guys want to donate, I'm going to bring it all up there for them. And then that'll go to those kids. And then the last facet of this is I'm looking for a family or 2 or 5 or 10 or whatever it is I'd like to try and pay their rent for December. I'm looking for a hardworking, families that really just could use a leg up. Whether it's they've been having hard times, that they've never really kind of caught a break. I think paying these guys rent for the month of December really would just not only relieve a ton of pressure for the holidays and maybe give them a beautiful holiday season, it'll also give them an amazing amount of momentum going to 2019. Having a month's rent in the bank already and not having to worry about it is really going to push people ahead. Most people don't have $1,000 to know on hand if something were to go down. And something like this could really, really change that for a lot of people. So if you're interested in what I'm up to and you want to jump in, you want to throw, $1 or $2 or $1,000 or whatever at this, head over to Facebook. I'll link it. If you go to thesocialchameleon.show/holiday helper, it'll just redirect you right over to that Facebook page. If you're on Facebook, or check the links in this video or in the podcast app, and I'll shoot you right over to that Facebook page. I'd really like you guys jumping in. If not, do something for your community. I hope this inspires you. If it's not what I'm up to, do something what you're doing. Let us know what you're up to. I'd like to be, tagged in or, hear about what you guys do in this holiday season.
All right, cool.
Hopefully that wasn't too long of a...
Yeah, it's all right, man. It's the holidays, man. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause.
It is. It's fun. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it's really been an absolute blast.
Awesome, man. That's cool. All right, we got some challenges. You want me to take a challenge? Which one?
What's this week's challenge, Ransom?
All right. For me, I challenge you to get out there and learn some of these things. All right. I would definitely get into some of the basic keyboard shortcuts. If you already know those, maybe get into some of the Gmail shortcuts, or at least the computer shortcuts, whether you're Windows, whether you're Macintosh. Learn how to switch programs, just a click of a button or a gesture, and learn how to highlight certain things in there. And if you're going through the Gmail, try these shortcuts. Go ahead and click on that button for settings and turn these shortcuts on and just start using them and see if this will improve the speed of your work and or the quality of your life, because you can get more done. And if anything, just try something new. You got to get out there and try new things. You never know what this could lead to. This could lead to you finding other shortcuts or hacks in your life that will definitely improve the quality of your life. Try it.
Listen, yeah, people, listen. There's a difference between efficiency and effectiveness, Understand the difference. And listen, you're going to get these keyboard shortcuts down. You're going to have 2-hour lunches. You're going to squat 10,000 pounds. You're going to deadlift 20,000. It's going to be a great life. I'm telling you. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Guaranteed all. JK.
Yeah.
But these will improve your life. Get on there. Get it going. And if you know somebody that's on that grind and they're struggling and they need to learn some shortcuts, share this with them. Let them know. Get them in on the secret. You guys can go to 2-hour lunches together.
Yeah.
Spot you on your 10,000-pound deadlift. It's going to be great.
All right.
Share this with them. And as you guys are sharing, you guys can jump along with us all week long on all the social, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, The Social Chameleon Show. You guys can subscribe on YouTube, your favorite podcast app. Those of you listening to the podcast version, I would really love if you leave some ratings and reviews. If you're enjoying this, it does help our show reach more amazing people like you. For this and all past episodes and show notes, you guys can visit thesocialchameleon.show. Until next time, keep learning, growing, and transforming into the person you want to become.